Mommy J, go stupid.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ton Sneakers. Today we're not dropping a Chasing Kicks episode because this past week has been kind of dry and I only really went for some smoke gray lows that restocked on Finishline. We're going to do something a little different for this video. Today I'll be giving you guys a guide on how to use SOLE AIO in my personal setup. Let's jump over to the computer screen so I can start the guide. Alright, so this will be your initial view of SOLE AIO. First we're going to start in settings. So here you have the delays. Right now I'm on 3400 monitor and retry delays, but you don't want to change delays from this window. Instead, a very important and a very useful command is F3, which brings up delays. So you can be on your task, being ready to link change or whatever, and you can just pop up the delays, change it to whatever it is, and this is what I do during the drop. But back to settings, you have your webhook, you have a positive webhook, negative webhook. I just use the same webhook for both. Notifications, desktop and inbot. Checkout sounds, you can make your own personal checkout sound. I just use Sole's because I like it. Quick task, set up your quick task profile to whatever you want, any of your profiles. Quick task proxy list, I currently have mine on local. You can use auto solve. Not quite sure if AYCD auto solve works with SOLE because it hasn't for me in the past, especially on off-white drops. I think it may work for like Supreme and Footsites. And this is how you import and export all of your bot data right here. So coming from settings, we're just gonna do some more extra features and tips that SOLE has. So if you make a task group, you see I have Kith right here. You can right click a task group and you can edit all the tasks in this task group. You can start the task, stop the task. I currently have this archive just to put it away, but if you unarchive it, you'll be able to see it. You can duplicate the task group and delete it. Within the task group, like most bots, if you click on one task, shift click, it highlights all. You can edit tasks, I do this a lot. You can control click for certain tasks, so you don't want to pick all of them. You can do certain ones. You can also select tasks by just dragging the mouse, clicking and dragging, which works well. If you come up here, this little arrow thing collapses the sidebar so you can have more space. I don't personally use this, I just keep it up so I can see everything. Now let's go over some of the function keys that SOLE has. So F1 is a mass edit window. So you click F1, this will control all the tasks that you have in the task group. This is very, very helpful. F2 is mass link change. I believe the tasks have to be running for this to work. I just use mass edit when I'm mass link changing, or just control click, edit tasks, put it in. Or F3 is probably the most important. This controls your delays. So this is what you want to be using when you're running. Personally, I start around 10K for Shopify, gradually drop it to around 2.8K, and that's what hits me the most pairs. But make sure you're utilizing F3, makes it a lot easier. And then F4 is success sharing. So when you want to share your success, you just hit F4, hit yes, and it'll upload it directly to the SOLE channel. Now we're going to go through the rest of the sidebar. So we're going to start at accounts and make our way up. So for an account, I just made a group called Undefeated. Then you want to import accounts, and you have a email :password set up. So you just type in an email, boom, type in a password. And then to upload or import multiple accounts, then you just go down, do the same thing, go down, do the same thing, all in this first format, and that'll get your accounts in. Next, we have our Captcha Solvers. These are pretty straightforward. You just have to know which one to use on which site and what drop. So we have the V2 solver, the V3 solver, checkpoint solver, Captcha Solver, question solver, SMS solver, Chrome V2 solver, Chrome V3 solver, and Chrome checkpoint solver. So basically the bottom three, the Chrome solvers, is what you mainly want to be using unless told otherwise. You don't really want to touch these up here because they're a lot slower than the Chrome solvers, and SOLE has perfected their Chrome solver, so they're very good. But as you can see, I have like my email name, Shopify checkpoint, which this is actually not a checkpoint solver. So the Chrome V2 solver is the checkout solver. So this, even though it says checkpoint, this is my checkout solver. Just because I know this Gmail is a one click and it'll give me the best chance of not getting fading captchas or whatever. This Chrome checkpoint solver is obviously the checkpoint solver. So this will be the first captcha you start getting. And I keep those both on local hosts. Next we have Chrome v3 solver. A Chrome v3 solver is for sites like Yeezy Supply, Finishline, and JD, and those will automatically solve themselves. You don't have to do anything. Question solver, you'll need one of those up for a question, but currently you don't even need that for sites like Kith because it pops up with HCAPTCHA and the regular Chrome v2 solver. Stay away from these at the moment. You only need these. I think you may use the regular v2 solver on like a off-white drop or something of that nature, and then you would also use the SMS solver for that. Pretty straightforward. Other things in the captcha section, you have the solver proxy, which we have here. Have my proxy. You have the site. You can dedicate a site to it, and just in case you're going for multiple drops, which is a very useful feature, low-key, but I never use it. We have open on startup, open YouTube, always open YouTube 30 minutes before a drop. Warm up your Gmails by watching videos, always do that. Open Gmail just to make sure you're logged in, and load URL if you want to load something in that captcha solver. So billing is very straightforward. I just made this billing group so you wouldn't see my profiles. But you can import, export billing groups, search within the billing group, profile name, email, phone number, all that stuff. One checkout per profile. Next, we're going to go to proxies, which is also very straightforward. Don't have to say much about this. But you just go to import proxies, post your proxies, then you should be good. Now I'll go through all the sites that SOLE supports and give you a more in-depth guide of how to set it up and what everything does within the module. So first, we'll start with Shopify. So they have a list of sites here. Pick whatever one you're running for, or you can run for custom by just typing it in. Keyword should be provided by your cook group or by SOLE itself. You can also put a link here. Positive keywords on SOLE do not include a plus. However, negative keywords include a minus. So if I was running for the high purple dunks, I would put dunk, high purple, no spaces after the comma, but a comma after each word. And then if I wanted to do maybe minus GS, minus TD, it would look like this. So size, pick whatever size you want. Normally it's best to go random. Checkout mode, you have 3 options: auto checkout, pre-cart, and Discord checkout. So auto checkout is used on sites that have a password page, and you want to run auto checkout with a timer, so it starts right at the time of the drop. Pre-cart is what you want to use on any other Shopify drop. This mode carts a random item before the drop and creates a checkout in order to bypass the queue, giving a faster checkout on drops without a password page. Normally you want to start this 1 to 6 minutes before the drop, and personally I start mine 5 minutes before a Shopify release. Accounts only needed for sites such as Concepts and Undefeated. Question, 3 options again on this one. None, obviously, for sites with no questions. Silent, 99% of the time you won't use a silent question. This is when just sites are trying to throw you off, and I'm sure SOLE will tell you if you need to, but I haven't ran this yet. Manual is like the regular question solver type thing. Just select manual when there's an actual question to be solved. This allows for a question to be answered in the question harvester. This is used on sites such as Haven, Deadstock, Premiere, and Erica Manual. So you can open a question solver, but say you have this on none, nothing will go to your question solver. So you have to make sure to put this on manual. So you can put a few tasks on manual, a few tasks on none, if you're unsure if there's a question or not. Proxy lists. Here are my proxies. Personally on Shopify, I try to run 2 or 3 local tasks. Always make sure to run space because they are goated on Shopify. And then I also run a few notify guillotine tasks. To schedule a drop, say for an auto checkout, you click the button, click the date, say you want to do it at 2:37, which is in a minute. Quantity, yeah, missing profile, test profile, random keywords, boom. See if we start that real quick, and it's already 12:37, so it didn't do anything. Switch that to 12:38. There it is. Now it's waiting 45 seconds. That's how the timer works. Next we'll go to YS. So right here's the product ID. This will be provided by your cook group or SOLE, probably both. Sites or random mode, splash or first come first serve. Normally on Easy Supply or Adidas drops, it will be splash, so you just put it on splash, and everything else is the same, so pretty straightforward. Adidas is pretty much very similar. Product ID, you normally want to use that. You don't want to use the URL, I guess it's optional. Also splash or first come first serve, but it will most likely be splash. And let's go to Supreme. I don't really use this module on SOLE that much, but it's very straightforward and like any other Supreme bot. You have the category, type in keywords, color, hybrid, or restock depending on what SOLE says to do. And then you have add to cart delays and checkout delays. For Footsites, you pick your site. If you want to go Foot Locker US, product ID, which is in the link actually, so you can find it yourself or you can get it from your cook group. Size, checkout mode, they have card or PayPal. I think PayPal is currently not working just because they took it off Footsites. Pre-solve captchas if you would like. Captcha sharing, put this on true for some tasks and it'll share with all of those tasks, so it's really helpful. That's it for Footsites. Finishline and JD, pick whichever one you want, Finishline or JD. Product ID and color ID, those should be provided by SOLE, definitely by SOLE. Other things are very straightforward, same thing. Hibit, I don't actually know if this module is working or you need really clean IPs, but here you have product ID and color ID, which you can find in SOLE's Discord. DSG, as you know, this module is an absolute cook. I'm not going to show too much about it because trying to keep it low key. There we go. Mesh, so you can pick your mesh site, product ID, which can be also found in the link. So you have PayPal manual and PayPal auto checkout for checkout mode. If you want less room for error, you would probably pick PayPal manual, but you could also run some tests PayPal auto checkout. Off-white, you have whatever region you want, the product ID, size. You would normally put SMS verification required because they just started doing that. And this might be one of the modules where you actually use a regular V2 solver along with the SMS verification. But I would double check with SOLE's guide before you do that. I don't think I mentioned the solvers for everything, so I'll just go through that real quick. So for Shopify, you want to use Chrome V2 solvers, Chrome checkpoint solvers. For YS, you want to use Chrome V3 solvers. For Adidas, you also want to use Chrome V3. Supreme, Chrome V2. Footsites, Chrome V2. Finishline JD, Chrome V3. Not quite sure about Hibit. I would just check SOLE's guide if you want to know about that. DSG, you don't need anything for GSD, any solvers, it just goes automatically. And Mesh, Chrome V2, and I just talked about Off-White. Now I'll be going over my personal setup and how I run for Shopify drops. So yeah, you want to start 5 minutes before. You'll be polling queue. You want to make sure you get through that queue because sometimes it is very long. When you get through, it'll say something like this, and then you'll have it on 10,000 at the start, and then gradually drop it down. So boom, look for your delay window, just pop up F3. There it is. 6,000, let it go. Boom, drop it down one more time, maybe to 4,500 or whatever you want. And 30 seconds before the drop, 2,800, and it feels like it works every time. You pick up super quick. This is what my setup looks for a normal Shopify drop. As you can see, I have 2 Chrome checkpoint solvers. I put those right next to each other, 2 on the left, and then I have a Chrome V2 solver, which is the checkout solver on the right. Solve captchas here until something pops up, and make sure you always prioritize your checkout captcha because that's the most important captcha and will allow you to check out. However, for sites like Kith, they don't have a checkout captcha, so basically you just focus on these and whatever happens. But especially for Kith, to make sure to always run for restocks. Let them run 5 or 10 minutes after. SOLE does really well in those restocks. It normally loops at the checkout. It'll give you an error, but yeah, that is my Shopify setup. That was the video, that was the guide. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I will catch you in Chasing Kicks episode 8 when it drops. What's up, everybody? That's the end of this bot guide for SOLE AIO. Let me know how you liked it and if you want to see more for other bots. I appreciate everyone that made it to the end of this video, and make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for Chasing Kicks episode 8. Got a whip, foreign coupe, can't believe it. Top down in the city, rolling in a Beamer. I just wanna tell you what it is, and then I seen her. Loving me ain't easy, girl, I know, but I told you from the start. Why'd you have to go and break my heart? Screaming fuck you and fuck love. I don't give a shit, cause I'm fucked up, yeah. Turned up in a party, blacked out, sipping Molly water. I don't give a fuck no more. Said fuck that whore, yeah, fuck that whore. I'm fucked up, yeah, blacked out, yeah, I'm turned out, yeah, I'm turned out.